Today I'm going to talk about all the favorite mods I've done to my bike. Some of these are going to be bike specific, like specific to the TPI bikes from KTM, Husky, Gas, but a lot of these modifications I'm doing are pretty generic. You could do it to any dirt bike. So we're going to talk about the favorite things I've done to the bike to make it a better trail machine, and we'll talk about prices and some of the things you can even do for free. So let's jump into it. One of the cheapest things I've done to the bike is this front tugger strap, and you could spend like 50-60 bucks on a tugger strap, but you can see this is just 1-inch nylon webbing tied in a knot. What I like about this is it's dirt cheap. It costs like a few dollars, and it's super strong and it's lightweight. It's like a quarter of the weight of some of those other fancier tugger straps, and it's functional. Part of my philosophy with these mods is I want functional mods. I want things that are going to make my riding experience better, and I'm not looking to double the cost of my bike by adding like $10,000 worth of parts. My name isn't Jeff Slavens. I'm here on a budget, and I'm just adding stuff that's going to make riding easier and better for me. The other end of the spectrum here is the Motominded Ultimate Pro headlight. Those of you that have a good eye will realize this is a KTM mask. I like this mask better than the Husky one. Looks a little sleeker, but having a good light for me is super important. I do some night riding every once in a while, and the stock lights on these bikes just don't cut it. The new 24s have a much better light, but it's still nowhere as good as a good aftermarket light. This uses Baja S2 Pros, which are phenomenal. Low beam, high beam, really good beam pattern, really good color. Like you can really see things on the trails so much better with a good light. Let's talk about tires. You guys have probably seen my last tire video. If not, go check it out. My current favorite front tire is this VX30 from IRC, but what's inside is also important. I'm running a Mousse up front, and a lot of people like to run Tubliss up front. I don't see the point. It's not like you're running ultra low pressures on the front tire, and that's kind of the main benefit of running Tubliss. So I prefer the Mousse up front. It eliminates the possibility of having a flat, so take that out of the equation. I don't have to bring flat repair tools with me. Don't have to worry about it. And this Mousse has lasted, this is like a 4th or 5th tire I've run with this Mousse, so it's lasting a very long time. You can see I'm running Cycra Pro Band, full wrap handguards. I'm in the full wrap camp. I don't really care for flags. I don't feel like they offer enough protection for my hands or for my levers. So full wraps it is for me. Never had an issue with them. And like I said, nothing too complicated here. Just regular Cycra Pro Bands with the standard bar mounts. Other thing I'm running here are heated grips. You can see this. Heated grips. These are lock-on heated grips. I'll throw a link to these in the description of the video, but they've got a controller that mounts to your bars right here, and these work great because they're lock-on grips. KTMs all have lock-on grips, and it's really hard to find a set of heated grips that are also lock-on, so that's what I'm running here. On the list of more expensive things that I'm running, everybody keeps asking about this. This is the Clake One Light clutch. This is one finger clutch pull, super easy. Like you could pull it with your pinky, super easy clutch. I like this because I can use one finger on the clutch all day long in the hardest terrain. Finger does not get tired. I don't have to switch to 2 fingers. And here's the thing, even though this is a 2-stroke 300, I'm always on the clutch. I'm always modulating power, finding traction with the clutch and the throttle. And so I'm always using my clutch finger. With the stock clutch, that one finger would get tired. I'd have to switch to 2 fingers. And I feel like I just don't have the grip on the bars with only 2 fingers. 3 fingers, I feel much more in control of the bike. And I've got good dexterity with that one finger to modulate power really precisely. So it's about 400 bucks. You get it directly from Australia. So it takes a little while to arrive, but it is probably the single biggest mod I've done to the bike that has impacted my riding for the better. Love this thing. This is the Hondo Garage Perfect Squeeze phone mount. I do have a discount code for them. Check it out in the description if you want to purchase one of these. What I tend to do is I have an older phone that I put in here, and I load it up with Gaia GPS. That's my favorite GPS app. So if I need maps or I don't know where I'm going, I'm riding in an unfamiliar area, I throw the phone in here, and that's where I have GPS just right in my field of view. The mount is rock solid. This is, again, another universal thing. So you can put this on any bike, but rock solid, phone will not come out, holds it nice and tight. They do offer a vibration damper mount as well. So if you're worried about the camera on your phone, get the vibration damper and you don't have to worry about it affecting the camera. All right, next up on really cheap mods is this pouch here. This is actually, you could find these on a lot of motorcycle specific sites. They sell them for, I don't know, 50, 60 bucks, something like that. This cost me like $14 on Amazon. It is, I think it's designed for like LARPing or airsoft or something, or people that dress up like they're in the military. It's called an admin kit pouch. It's got like straps on the back. You're supposed to mount it to like a, I don't know, like a bulletproof vest or something. I don't know. But it works perfectly for this, for a bar bag. And I'm using these straps here. They're called Voile? I don't know, maybe it's French. These little elastic straps, these are actually super handy to have. A lot of dirt bike websites sell these as well with their own brand name on them, but this is the manufacturer here, and you can get them a lot cheaper if you go straight to the source. So I've just cut these down. They come a lot longer. I've cut them down to mount my bag to the bars, but they are super handy. I keep a set of these in my truck. I keep a set in my backpack. If something big falls off the bike, I need to strap it to my backpack just to bring it out. These come in super handy. And they're, like I said, much cheaper if you go directly to the source. This is the Tusk Radiator Fan Kit. This has actually been totally bulletproof for me. I've not had a single issue. This is sort of a custom mount I did to put the temp gauge right here, so I can just glance down and see the temp really easily. I've got it set to 190 degrees. That's when the fan comes on. So I highly recommend a fan if you're gonna be riding some tight, technical single track. There's really only two names in the skid plate business for these bikes, SXS and AXP. I've owned both. One of them completely failed on me due to a subpar mounting system, and one has been rock solid. The one that is rock solid is currently on my bike right now. So that should tell you everything you need to know, but highly recommend SXS. They're awesome. I've got the rear disc guard on the back. I don't have one up front. I haven't really felt the need for a front disc guard. I feel like I can place the front wheel pretty well to avoid damaging the front disc, but the rear definitely takes a lot of abuse. This is actually the disc guard I had on my KTM. You can see it still has some orange anodizing on it. It's definitely doing its job protecting that rear disc. As far as the rear tire goes, I've tried so many tires. I'm a big fan of gummy tires, the hybrid gummy tires, and right now I'm running Tubliss. I've run mousses too. I like mousses. I especially like having a drilled mousse, but Tubliss is just a bit more versatile. I can run any pressure I want. I tend to run around 2 PSI most of the time. I'm pretty lightweight, so I can get away with that. If it's really gnarly, really slick, I'll run 1 PSI, or I'll bump it up a bit if I know it's just gonna be an easy ride. As far as the tire right now, this is the Michelin Enduro Xtrem in a 140/80. This is the first time I've run this tire. This thing is super sticky. It's soft like most gummy tires are, but there's something about this compound that just, it's really sticky. You could feel it like stick to your fingers when you touch it. So far, very happy with it. Okay, this is the FMF Turbine Core 2.1. Can't really read the sticker anymore because it's pretty shot, but these TPIs do not like screen type spark arresters. That's something you need to be aware of. So the turbine cores definitely work better on the TPI bikes. I use the street legal kit from True North Motos, another local company to me. They come with everything you need to turn signals, rear brake light switch, basically everything to get your bike street legal, which is cool. I have my bike street legal mainly for fire roads, Forest Service roads, connecting trails, stuff like that. I don't really ride it on the street. It's not fun to ride on the street, but if you need to make your bike street legal, I would definitely check out True North Motos. And then I'm running the Enduro plate. This just kind of saves your license plate from getting mangled if you have tip overs, any kind of situation. It is magnetic. but you can see it'll flop up if you hit something more solid. So that definitely keeps your plate from getting destroyed. For the most part, this is pretty stock. I've tried all the TBI kits and injector relocation kits and went back to stock TPI, but I do have the John Ross tune. This is tpituning.com, his tune on the bike. I wish I would have done it so much sooner. It is the best thing I've done for the bike. It really fills in the bottom end. The bike runs super clean and crisp throughout the rev range. And then at John's recommendation, I also went with a slightly thinner base gasket during my last top end rebuild, which is gonna bump the compression just a little bit. It's not really enough to bump it up a lot, but it's enough to make it run a little bit stronger right off the bottom. So big fan of that overall setup. The bike runs super well and very happy with that. Here's a mod you can't really see all that well, but it is free. I've actually shaved the seat. Pulled the stock seat cover off. I shaved it with, it was like a bread knife and some sanding blocks. It took like an inch off of that seat, shaved it down. I'm like 5'8". It makes a big difference for being able to touch the ground, have a little bit more confidence in doing things like pivot turns. So if you're a little on the shorter side, definitely give it a try. Next up is the Clean Speed brake lever tip. It actually moves the tip back a little bit. I wear a size 43 boot. I don't have tiny feet, but it does allow me to kind of keep my foot back on the peg a little bit more and still reach the brake lever, which is nice. So there you have it. Those are the mods I've done to the bike. Like I said, it's not a ton. Like, I'm not spending a lot of money here. It's not a highly modified bike, but each thing I do to the bike is gonna make the experience a little bit better. So it's purposeful modifications. I'm not just throwing a parts catalog at it. I'm